Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Stu, and this is Tony's Towpath for Rollercoaster Tycoon Classic. Your friend Tony has asked you to help develop the town's succession of canal locks into a proper tourist attraction. However, it's going to be an uphill struggle. There's a pun there, as the council insists that you mustn't change the landscape of this beautiful location. Your objective, to achieve a park value of at least 300,000 at the end of October, year 3. So it's another fantastic looking and interesting scenario from Radrian. So these will be the locks then. So I don't know if this is based on a real life place, um, or not, but it's definitely interesting. So how about via the power of OpenTTD, which is the open source version of Transport Tycoon, I might be able to show you how a lock works. Hopefully I did. Otherwise it's going to be a very awkward little bit of silence there. Okay, so a towpath then is the path that runs alongside a canal that the horses or whatever used to tow the canal boats along. So we've got an entrance there. I think I saw another one. Yeah, we've got another entrance there. So there's at least two. So we have to make sure that we're not sort of concentrating all our rides and shops and things in one area. So let's have a look then. We're charging for admission. So that'll make things a bit more difficult. We don't have a huge amount of land. So let's hide scenery a second and see. Oh, yeah. So we've got quite a lot of land that we can buy. The real question, though, is it expensive? 50. That's fairly expensive. Okay. We've got enough space to start off with. So let's see what rides we've got. We've got some transport rides. We've got a good selection of gentle rides, a few coasters, and some thrill rides. Some water rides, which I probably won't use because we don't really have enough water to put them in. And any water that we do have, like for example this area up here, I'd probably rather use that if we get like a good water ride, like a log flume or something. And do you know what? It's not a fantastic selection of shops, but it's enough to get us started. So I'm going to put my research then into thrill rides. We're going to crack on with that. As I said, we've got enough shops, and we're going to need to start getting the guests in order to justify a higher entry fee. So I'm going to put down a few rides, and then as soon as we got a few, I'll put the gate price up to about 40. I'm probably going to start buying some land over this side. 15% interest. That's quite a lot. What about the loan? Oh wow. Okay, we can take out a decent amount of money. We just got to hope that we're getting enough guests in, and maybe it rains enough that we can earn enough to pay back the loan interest. So anyway, I'm going to crack on. I shall see you soon. October year 1, we've got a park value of 106,000, and we've got the loan maxed at 30,000. Maybe not the best idea. So we've researched all of the thrill rides. Now got our research in roller coasters. So at the start then, I've got a junior coaster just down here. Now we can't alter the land, which I'm only really bothered about that for the simple reason that I do like to be able to do a little bit of terraforming in order to make the paths look a little nicer. That's pretty much the only thing. It does give me an idea, really, that maybe it's something that they might implement in OpenRCT2. In Transport Tycoon, if you annoyed the councils too much, they wouldn't let you build anything. So I'm just wondering, maybe there could be something like that where maybe the councils let you build just a little bit. See this little bit where the path is? I just like to raise that slightly. just so it looks a little nicer. That's all I want to do. All I want to do. I don't want to go anything over the top. So we've got toilets and kiosks on major junctions, corners, that sort of thing. We've got some food stalls down. Got a top spin hidden just down by there. We've got a maze. So we've bought all the land up here. Let's check out the stats on Canalbug. 5.7. It's currently running at 3 laps. So we've got a bit of a big queue. So I'll put that down to 2. We will put it up later in the game in order to get higher stats, because the thing about park value is the bulk of it is done by ride stats. There is a little bit on guest numbers and throughput and things like that, but the bulk of it is stats. So having it set to multiple laps will raise the stats. Oh, there's some fences in the middle of nowhere where I've tried to place them. Let's see if I can work out where I've tried to place them. Nope, can't see them. I have tried to place them somewhere, and at some point, and they've just obviously gone up there. We've got an Enterprise just there, and then we've got a 3D cinema here. It's the 3D Canal Experience. Something weird happened. For some reason, people like getting their photos taken in front of the sign saying 3D Canal Experience. And they always have a giggle and say, "Oh, it's just like Animal Kingdom." I have got no idea what that means. It's a bit weird though. Yeah, and then we're coming up here. I've rejigged the paths slightly. We've got a Ferris wheel there, and we've got the 2 pirate ships just down by there. Now, I did say that ride stats give you the park value. Now, one thing is, if you duplicate your rides, each one of those will get a 25% penalty. So each of these pirate ships is only going to give me 75% of the value as if I just had the one. But obviously 2 of them together is going to add more value than just the one. However, at this point, I'm more interested in the number of guests that these pirate ships will add to the park than I am with the value. And then just over here then, we've got Tony's Murder Mansion. Oh, hang on. That's not how you spell mansion, is it? Maybe in this part of the world, but that's not how you spell it in real life. Tony's Murder Mansion. Just there. So I've kept as many of the trees as I can, put a little wall around. I think it looks quite nice. There's tons of sick. I'm getting lots of complaints about litter and things like that. So I have been putting down some handymen and stuff. We are now starting to struggle for cash. So I spent a lot last month on land purchasing. Coming down this side, we got a couple of the swing inverted ships. Again, same thing. I'd rather have the rides than the value. And we've got more floating fences up there. What have I been doing? Oh, hang on. There you go. So I'll tell you what I have been doing. I've been trying to work out a way of getting a path. You know the way I like to do my paths, but it's sort of the land isn't quite right. So I've been trying to work down there and buy some more land this side, and I've spent way too much money, and I think it's gonna bite me in year 2. To be honest, we are gonna struggle. We really need it to rain pretty much every single month from here on in. Yeah. So again, we're researching roller coasters. Wish me luck. October year 2, 192,000 park value, so we need 300,000, so we're more or less on track. But we have been struggling for cash, not so much at the moment, but it has been tight. We haven't done a lot of building this year. We're still on the max on the loan. So in September, we won an award for being the best value park in the country. So that basically tells me I can put my price up. So I was charging £40 a go to come in. I looked at the guests, at the cash they were coming in with, and some of them were at like 75, some of them 95. So I've put that up to 60. So we are benefiting from some extra cash. We've got a wild mouse just down here called River Rat. Nice high stats on that. I was a little worried initially about harder gas generation because it is a Radrian scenario and he does like to use that, but I don't think we have. the numbers are going up steadily, so I think we're okay. It wouldn't be a massive drama if we do have it, because we don't need that many guests in this. We just need enough to give us the money. I put down this tiny little looping coaster by here because we really didn't have much cash. I had this small little space I wanted to use for something, and I really needed something to help me generate some extra cash, and that's what we've got with the photo section, which is a bit weird, isn't it? The way the photo section is under the hedge are clipping. That's a bit bizarre. Okay. Yeah, so it's called Gongoozler. So I'm not going to pretend I know anything about canals. I just looked up like a glossary of terms for canals, and apparently a gongoozler is someone who likes staring at canals and canal boats and stuff. So yeah. So it's running on, what have we got it running on? One circuit. So we might up that as the queue drops, but for nowsies, whilst the queue is nice and full, we'll keep it on the one. Initially, the stats did come back a little low because it didn't have a high enough drop. So I've just raised the spikes up a little bit and then up the speed so it gets that drop. The drop will be on the way back down like that. That's the one it needs. What else have we got? Yeah, we were struggling. I'll be honest, guys. We were struggling we were about August, September, and we didn't have hardly any rides. And again, I needed something to give me some photo cash. So we've just gone for a cutback, and I've set it to 5 laps. So to do that, I'm not going to show you. I'll just tell you. What you do when you build it, you leave it on continuous. You let it test. You put it on 5 laps, then you put it in the powered mode. And we've got an issue with the queue. Something. This happens every now and then. There's nothing opposite it. Something is giving problems. Huh. That's weird. I wonder if it's the benches. I don't know. That's weird. Yeah, so we've got our work cut out for us this year. We are going to have to pull some tricks from up our sleeve in order to complete this scenario. This was another deceptively tough. Look at all that sick. Another deceptively tough scenario from Radrian. I really, really shouldn't underestimate his scenarios. Ooh, Twister Coaster from now on. And we got a massive space by here. Ooh. Right. Yeah. So let's crack on, and hopefully we can beat the scenario by any means necessary. How about that? October year 3, and we've got a park value of 326,000, and we've got a multi-launch twister. It's called winding. It's not called winding, it's called winding. Apparently, according to the glossary that I looked up, a winding is the area where boats turn around, and it's pronounced winding, not winding. Yeah, so it launches up, doesn't make it, comes back, same again at the back, and then it's got a bit more speed, and it goes over the top into that emmelment and back around. And there you go. We might as well watch it. We've got plenty of time. We've got plenty of time. Why have me tell you when you can just see it for yourself? There you go, into the loop, into the corkscrew. I don't like this back section, but I was running out of cash and I was running out of time. So we've done that. Nice high stats, that's what we want. Oh, look at all that sick. That looks awful, doesn't it? It looks terrible. Okay. Yeah, that weird photo op of that. Still don't understand what that's all about. If you do know, just say you know. Don't actually say what it is. That's broken down. Oh, yeah. So we have had to go to some. Let's just say we've had to come up to some sort of agreement with the council. So I've gone for a very cheap and cheerful flying coaster by here. I haven't even named it yet. We've just got the inversion. That gives it the good stats. Yeah, that's all we need. There's a fence out of place there. And then over here then, hang on, we'll do this one first. So I've got one of my 6x6 rides from the 6x6 catalogue. Decent stats on that. And then here we've come up with some sort of agreement with the council that we would store these rides for nowsies and test them in exchange for them giving me the ability to do some light terraforming. Nothing huge, just so I can sort the paths out and things like that. Because we've got such a massive space over here. It would be a shame if we didn't use it. So we're going to carry on building the park and maybe tidying up this section here. I spent so much cash on buying land, and it really, really came back to bite me. And these are the measures that we've had to go to in order to do that. So they're basically all running on as fast as they can, and because they're on test, they don't age, and because they don't age, the value doesn't depreciate. But that's not the point of them. It was a genuine deal with the council. I scratched their back, they scratched mine. A nod's as good as a wink to a canal boat owner, etc. And I tell you that there was another funny thing that happened. Let me pass the scenario first, and then you can do the clappy stuff, and then I'll show you actually. And this could be an interesting thing for me to ask Stu, maybe the devs at OpenRCT2, if they can give me an answer to this. So I was working over here, and I accidentally, when I was doing it, I accidentally clicked on a guest when I was trying to click on a coaster, and the guest that came up, I'll see if I can find him here. So again, we've got 1,357 guests in the park. So me picking that one specific guest is probably a 1 in 1,357 chance. But the fact that he's got that name, I don't know how many different names there are in the generator. And then there's got to be a generator for the surname. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I hope he left. Otherwise, that just ruins the video. Scrolling with Stu. I should have trapped him somewhere so I could easily find him. And has it been worth it? Nope, that's Tracy. Tony T. So I was working on something, and I clicked on a guest by mistake, and the name was Tony T. So I presume the T stands for Towpath. His name, Tony Towpath, of Tony's Towpath fame, has come to visit the park. And I promise you, I did not put his name in. I don't know if I did check to see maybe Radrian had put him in, but hour and 6 minutes. I don't think so. I'll have to go back and check at the start to make sure that there was no guests in. If he did, that was a great Easter egg. If not, I don't know what the odds are of me clicking on a random guest and they just so happen to have that name. It's got to be millions, 1 in millions, because the amount of guest names that there could be. Yeah. So anyway, as I said, I've struck up a deal with the council. So I'm going to carry on building. They're going to allow me to do some minor terraforming in exchange for storing these 2 coasters. Maybe I'll buy them off them cheap as well and stick them somewhere nice and tidy. Maybe we can move these around or do something with that one. But we'll do something and it'll look great, I'm sure. June, year 7, and not that it matters anymore, but the park value is now 311,000. So we're still ahead of what the goal was. We've got 1,700 guests in the park. Again, not that any of that really matters. So as we come into the park, then I've got rid of the coasters that we stored. just up here on the left, and we've replaced it with a small go-kart ride, which is very hard to see. It's very dense forestry just around here. So it's a very simple figure of 8 track. Decent stats on that one. We've kept the 6x6 spinning wild mouse. And I was thinking, earlier on I did mention Animal Kingdom, one of the Disney parks, and they actually had 2 spinning wild mice rides in the Dino Land area of the park. And I understand that they did, the whole point of that was to make it look like it was like a homage to all the sort of the old style roadside amusement areas of like a bygone era, but it just looked really cheap and nasty. So it's not out of the realms of possibility that a park would have something like this. We've upgraded the cutback coaster to have a cobra roll at the start. Moving along then. I've upped the number of laps on the junior coaster in order to just boost the queue length, because the queue was really short when it was three laps, so now we've got it on 4. I will keep an eye on that and adjust as necessary. And I've adjusted the back end of the twister coaster as well. So it comes down a little bit further. We've got another corkscrew over the station of the wild mouse, and then it comes around a barrel roll then back to the station, and as such we had to rejig the wild mouse slightly as well. That's fine. Moving on past the photo spot. One thing I was thinking about is I did notice that these bridges look a little bit weird. So if you look, obviously they're meant to be going across a canal. So if they were normal, let's have a look. If they were normal, then the supports would get in the way. So I was thinking, how has he done that? So then I realized what he's done. Where is it? He's gone in and he's gotten this support structure, and then we'll color it brown. We'll put it there, and then we'll raise it up. There, there, there. And as you can see, that is how it's done. Cool. So moving along then, fences and things around the place. Got a few more shops. We've unlocked everything now. Oh, hang on. Splashboards. That must have been the last thing out. I was looking at doing a log flume just over here, but there isn't quite enough. It isn't quite enough space to have a decent sort of splash area, and otherwise you'd have to have a bend, and it just looks a bit weird, which I don't really. I kind of do mind. So we've got a little viewing area in between the seating areas, and then over here then we have rejigged the flying coaster so it looks a lot better than what it did. So it takes you up, drops you down into a dive loop, and then we got a lot of barrel rolls, and then it comes back in a kind of like a pretzel loop, and then like a twisty bit, and then back to the station. So we've bought all the land up in this area now. I haven't given you the name for this one. All the stats. And we can watch it as well. So this one's called Lockkeeper. So that would be the guy or girl in charge of the locks. As the canal boats come up the canals, the lockkeeper would go out and take care of the locks and things. So what they would do is you'd pull your boat in, and then they'd pull the lock doors shut, and then they'd fill it with the water, and then your boat would rise up, and then you'd go into the next one, and you'd repeat that up along the way, or in reverse if you're going down. And then we've got a giga coaster just here called Dingle. So a dingle, according to my my canal boat glossary, is a tree-lined hollow surrounding a canal. So yeah, very simple design. It just boosts you out and around a bit. And yeah, I was thinking maybe it could be a multi-launch, but it made it over that first hill first time. I just had to add a second small boost by the photo section in order to get it up over the back, and then it's fine. And then we've got a bit of a monster over here. We've got this vertical drop, and there is usually an interaction here. I think it's not going to happen. I think that first train is a little bit too fast. Yeah. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. It all depends on the speed of the loading. So I've got a couple of little block breaks on the last section just to slow that train down, to try and encourage the interactions. So this one is called Navi, so that they were the people who built the canals. Yeah, so it's a decent stats on that. Yeah, so I think we're pretty much done. We did strike an agreement with the council so I could do some minor terraforming. I didn't ever want to do anything too extreme. All I wanted to do is in certain places adjust the slopes so I can put a fence down in a nicer way than otherwise. And little things like, you see this balloon stall. It'd be a case of, look, I just want to flatten this bit of land so I can put a balloon stall. And they're like, why? And I'm like, because then I get to hire a new person. They're like, oh, great, more taxes. So yeah, that's basically how it works. So we've been around doing some. Oh, I've missed some fences out here. Oh, fencing with Stu, and I've forgotten it. Obviously, I haven't done this bit with the old terraforming, but we'll do this bit, and then hopefully we won't notice all the other bits in the video. And if you have already noticed it, just forget about it, and yeah, by the time the outro comes, you won't even notice it's there. Cool. Yeah, so this was a fun scenario from Radrian. It's got, let's go through the list. It's got a wacky backstory. It's got an interesting landscape, a very nice looking, interesting landscape, which is probably based on a real location. I'll be honest, I did try and Google a few areas. Basically ones with, and not with, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different locks. So there's one I could find up in Scotland, one near Manchester, and one somewhere near London, and I couldn't quite sort of, none of the areas sort of matched. I was trying to look at this little area here. Have any of them got a scrapyard nearby, like all this area here? And I just couldn't see any. So if it is based on a real life location, well done, I couldn't find it. So yeah, so this was Tony's Towpath. Another fun scenario. I will put a link in the video description. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.